Hey everybody, Justin Senior here. Welcome to Section 5 Design, and this section, or this video, is specifically on design research. And, we know the process so far, right? We need to get a design from our designer, but in order to get a design from our designer, we need to provide some direction, and, the more direction, the better, to make the designer's job as easy as possible. So we need to go and do some research and figure out exactly what we want. And I'm going to show you exactly how we can do research, and more specifically, how we can do research that is going to lead us to some big winning t-shirts, winning designs, and we could let other people kind of pre-vet the designs by using things like sales proof and social proof to make sure that we're going in the right direction. So I'm going to show you just how powerful that is. I'll do an over-the-shoulder after the kind of the talk on this part so you could see what I'm talking about. But first, let's talk about kind of where you're going to start to find design inspiration. And these are just some of the sources that you can find. Pinterest is a really great one, right? There's so much visual content on Pinterest, and we're not only looking for t-shirts when we're talking about design inspiration. Sure, we'd like to, we would certainly like to find lots and lots and lots of t-shirt ideas. But I'll tell you, I've had a lot of great t-shirts that have come from things like memes, come from posters, come from just text quotes. They don't have to be t-shirts for you to get inspiration out of them, or for your designer to get inspiration out of. It could be a simple just a simple meme that gets the designer thinking in the right direction. Or maybe you see a meme that you think is really funny on Pinterest and you say, okay, I'm going to send this to the designer as inspiration for the text, and then maybe I'll send a couple of other examples for inspiration on the design. So again, it doesn't have to be t-shirts that you're looking for. And typical searches that I would make on Pinterest, would be something like, let's say you're in the nurse niche. I would type in nurse shirts, or funny nurse shirts, or nurse memes, nurse quotes, nurse posters, funny nurse, funny nurses, funny nursing. Any kind of term that I think I can get some good visual content that will kind of help me provide some good, or first of all, get some good inspiration in terms of what design might be good. And then also to pass that inspiration over by basically giving those links or those pictures or screenshots to your designer. So I referenced the idea of having people pre-vet your designs. Hey everybody, Justin Senior here. And that's super important. And that idea is basically to say on Pinterest, for example, you would look at things that have a lot of repins and likes. So if things are getting a lot of repins, even if it's a poster, right? It's not even a t-shirt yet, but it's a poster, right? And it's getting a lot of repins and a lot of likes. You can use that social proof to say, okay, this could be a good t-shirt. It's better than starting. The whole idea is that we want to find these social proof and the sales proof. So we're starting off with ideas that are already winners. We don't want to start off with an idea that we just come up with, maybe you can definitely find ideas, just in your own head, right? Or get recommendations or whatever. But wouldn't it be much more powerful to start off with an idea that 1,000 other people think is good enough to repin? Even if it's just a meme, right? Or a little poster, or an inspirational social media post, or whatever it is, right? If it gets repinned and liked a lot on Pinterest, then you could assume that there's some demand for it, and that's better than starting off from scratch. So Google, I also like to use, and typically I'm going to use Google image search, and I'll even type in the same type of terms that I just told you about on Pinterest. I'll do things like, if we're in the nurse space, nurse shirts, funny nurse shirts, nurse posters, nurse memes, funny nurses. And any kind of related term, looking for anything in the imagery section, just that will kind of catch my eye. And this is where it really helps if you have that kind of insider knowledge in the niche we talked about very early on in this boot camp. If you have that insider knowledge, you kind of already know what inside jokes or memes or things that might really speak to the customer. So on Google, obviously you don't have the social proof, you don't have repins or anything like that. So you really need to kind of to speak the language of your niche to find those hidden winners. The next thing that I'm going to do, or that I would go to, is use T-spying software. And the one that I like to use is called tspy.com. And the cool thing about that is, even though it has the word spy, and oftentimes that's has a negative connotation, basically all it does is it acts as a time saver, because you're still seeing the same types of data on Pinterest or Google or on the other ones below at T Platforms, Winello, Reddit. All it does is just it organizes it into one place and provides a nice database for you to search. So you could literally go in there and type in your niche. Let's say your niche is nursing, right? You go into T-Spy and you type in nurse, and it's going to show you thousands and thousands of shirts on all of the various platforms that that have been involved with or related to nurses. And then you can even sort that by number of sales. So you talk about looking for social proof or sales proof. We're literally sorting our results by the most sales. So there you go. You find a shirt that has 5,000 sales, and you go to your designer and say, this sold 5,000 times. Let's create a better version of it. Let's tweak the text a little bit. Let's create a higher end design, or let's use different typography and a different related saying, or whatever it is. But it's the idea of starting off with a winner. Why start off with an idea that you're not even sure if anyone likes? Start off with an idea that someone had bought 5,000 times. That's pretty powerful. And you can find that out on any of these ways to do it. The T-Spying platform, while it does cost money, it's like $27 a month. It's just saves you a lot of time. So I use it. I definitely recommend it. There's some other T-Spying platforms. They come and go sometimes, but I've been using that one for a while. Then you have T-platforms like Teespring and Redbubble. Cool thing about Teespring is they start to kind of make this easy for you, because they have categories for pretty much every big niche. You can go in there and find the most popular shirts, or you could just search on their homepage on teespring.com for your niche. Go in there and type in nurse or cats or dogs or whatever your niche is, and find other shirts, and they'll tell you how many have been sold. So same idea as the T-Spying platforms. Teespring just makes it very easy for you. Redbubble won't show you sales proof or social proof, but it's just a huge platform of other t-shirt designs. Wanello is a cool one. Wanello is basically a social network for products. And, they call, instead of repins or likes or shares, they call them saves. But, you would judge it the same way. You'd want to find a product that has a lot of saves, or a design or whatever that has a lot of saves. And, you could use that as the basis of your design inspiration. Last but not least is Reddit. A lot of funny memes and images are shared on Reddit. And obviously there's subreddits specific to almost every niche, probably every niche, plus way more that you would never even want to be involved with, right? So you'll find content related to your niche on Reddit, and it's the same idea as social proof, right? The things that get upvoted on Reddit and that surface to the top of Reddit, they surface there because a lot of people like them, or whatever, comment on them, or however Reddit works. So that's a good way to find pre-vetted content. All these sources are good ways to find that pre-vetted content that puts you in the right direction right off the bat. So it's way more powerful to do that. And again, what are you looking for? Social proof. On Pinterest, we're looking for repins, likes. Facebook, we're looking for likes, shares, comments. Wanello, we're looking for saves. Sales proof, great. Some T sites show the number of sales. That's amazing, because that just tells us right off the bat that something has a lot or a little sales. So the pro tip to take out of this: give your designer examples of winning designs, because that is going to get them off in the right direction. Don't give them examples of poor designs, or designs that you have no idea about. You don't know if they're winners or not. Let them go off and get started with things that are already winners. That's going to put you in the best position. So great. Let's go over the shoulder. I'll just show you some of these, some examples of doing different searches and stuff like that on some of the places that I told you to find design inspiration. So let's jump over the shoulder.
Pinterest is always a good one. Google is a good one. Teespring is a good one, and the list goes on. But basically, all we need to do is really, let's see. We just want to be able to see kind of what's out there, and some cool designs. The only unethical thing in the t-shirt world is to copy a design pixel for pixel. So you want to come in here and let's look up dog shirts. And a really important thing to do is look at social proof or sales proof. So you're finding a shirt that people already like. So you don't need to go and you take a look at this shirt. It has 1,475 repins. You can bet that this is definitely a sellable shirt, because 1,400 people have repinned it. You have 600 repins here. You have 150 here. You have 2,300 here. So, what could you do with a shirt like this? Maybe you really want to do a shirt similar to this. Take this design, go to your designer and say, I like the idea of this shirt, but, remember, it's unethical to copy it pixel for pixel. So you tell them, maybe switch the words up a little bit and, create a different design. Really as simple as that. You're going to just go through and find inspiration for new designs. Again, don't copy them. Find inspiration for some new designs, send them to your designer, and get them to to kind of redesign. So here's a good one. 2,300 people like this shirt, and maybe you like the text on it, but maybe you want to create a cooler looking shirt, a more designed shirt. So maybe you say, okay, designer, I like the text on here, tweak it a little bit, and also add a really cool design or a drawing of a dog, and then now all of a sudden you have a brand new design, but you're not exactly starting from scratch because you know that 2,300 people already like this design. They already repinned it. So Google, you're not going to really have much social proof, but you can do the same thing, dog shirts, go into images, kind of see what's up, see what's out there. Often a search term that I'll do is funny dog shirts, funny nurse shirts, funny knit shirts, whatever it is, because, those are the type of shirts that really sell pretty well. So we can just take a look through here. And again, we're just simply trying to find design inspiration to feed ideas to our designer, who's then going to come back and send us a finished design file. A good question about copyright concerns. Basically, there's an idea of first use. If you're the first person to use a design, you have enforceable rights on that. But I'll tell you that the word enforceable is the important word, right? There's not many things that you can do unless you want to go out there. You could threaten all the time. Definitely threaten with cease and desist and DMCA notices, Digital Millennium Copyright Act notices. But it's copycats are going to happen out there, so not much you can do really to protect yourself there. Just accept the fact that it's going to be a part of the game. Really, the reason why I left Teespring, I just had all my stuff get copied one morning, and they wouldn't take it down. So that's my note about copywriting and copycats. They're going to happen. There are people that are don't care, and they're going to copy your design unethically, pixel for pixel. So it is what it is. So you find designs, you have a whole process with your designer. Here's another good one, and especially if your niche is up here, you could find sales proof from teespring.com and find shirts. So for example, this shirt had 2,200 sold, not just 2,200 repins, but 2,200 sold. So maybe you go and tell your designer, I want you to create this shirt, use text that's kind of similar to this, and also add a nice dog design on top of it. You could even you could just use it for free. It doesn't give you much in the free side of things, but at least you get to log in and see. And over here, you're going to see it's got 644,000 plus T-shirts that have been created on all of the big T-shirt platforms: Teespring, Teezilly, Viral Style, T-Chip. It's even got Thread Me Up on here, Represent. So they're going to aggregate all of these things, and it's as simple as just entering in your niche. So we're in the coffee niche. We're going to go and type in coffee, and it's going to show us 3,600 T-shirts that have been, and mugs, 3,600 designs that have been sold. And when you have a paid account, that $27 a month account, you press sales total, and this sorts all 3,600 by number of sales. So you can immediately see how powerful that is. You want to start off, and I'm not suggesting you copy designs pixel for pixel, but inspiration is totally ethical, right? You're going to take inspiration from other designs. So maybe you see this design, let's say this design had sold 5,000 copies, then obviously, you're going to want to, it's going to be easier to start with something that has had past success. So maybe you come in here and you send this link to your designer and say, this one did really well. I really like the concept. Let's tweak the text a little bit and let's put a new design on it. And now I'm going to go with the idea that I have a design that at least it already resonates with people. I mean, if this one had, and you'll probably see on the top of these lists, 1,000, 2,000, 300, 3,000 pieces sold, that means that clearly there's a great demand for that design. So you'll tweak it a little bit. Here's a good example, right? Like this design isn't too good, but maybe this is a cool slogan. You could take this and tell your designer, even use the same text, but just create a better design. So T-Spy is great. It's $27 a month. The reason why I like it, for $27, it just saves all the time that you would be spending in places like Pinterest or Wanello or Teespring to go and do the spying yourself. They aggregate all of this for you. So spying is certainly not a negative word, right? You just want to, that's competition research, right? This tool is made to make your life a little bit easier. And money loves speed, right? So we don't want to be sitting there for hours inside of Pinterest. If you did want to save the $27, what you're going to do is you go to Pinterest, you go to Teespring, you go to Wanello, you go to Google Images, and you basically just go and search for coffee shirts, coffee memes, coffee posters. It's a really good way to get new design ideas. You could turn a funny meme into a T-shirt. So you go and make those searches. But this is definitely the place that I like starting because you're just going to find the designs much quicker.